You don't have to tell me. It's our favorite Hallmark holiday. It's Valentine's Day. And yet, here we are starting our season at the end, or what we consider the end of a relationship. We begin at the end. This season, I really wanted to be a little bit different. So, we are starting our episodes with breakups. I know reality can be not so pretty, but it's part of the relationship that we don't really talk about because nobody wants to go through it. I mean, come on, right? I did not start a relationship to break up. But yeah, we should talk about it. And we are talking about breaking up today on Valentine's Day. My name is Lee, and welcome to the podcast. This is Decapitated Thoughts. All right. Yeah, sure. Some of you might think that I may be a little bit heartless. I'm not. I also fall in love. I feel what you feel. It's just that there are certain things that I have gotten around with and I have accepted as reality and truth when it comes to love. The biggest thing that I've done for myself through the pandemic is to release the idea of romance or romanticism, to put a boundary between that. It's not even fantasy, just a boundary between romanticism and real life. Now, see, we talk about falling in love a lot. Who doesn't? It always gives that feeling of happiness, it gives you this very big smile on your face when you talk about it, falling in love, when you talk about love. Technically, it makes you happy. And so, Lee, why are we talking about breakups on Valentine's Day? Because I think we all go through relationships and we don't want to take a look at this part. There was one thing that I realized over the 2 years that I've been stuck at home. I realized that I'm never gonna ask anyone to promise me that they'll never break my heart or that they'll never hurt me. I mean, growing up, especially if you're a girl, people are more protective of you, especially um, older women or older men. Um, they tend to be very protective of you, and they would always say, if somebody breaks her heart, I'm gonna break their neck, and it resonates until you're a little bit older. So you're thinking that nobody's allowed to do that. Well, nobody's allowed to hurt anyone in general, I think. But these things are inevitable. They will happen. You'll get bruised. You'll get a little bit of pain. And they are important for us to grow up, for us to be better with life, for us to know certain things and appreciate things. Like you'll never understand why hot is good if you've never been cold, and vice versa. So, getting hurt is something that all of us would have to deal with and would have to go through. By the way, breakups do not only happen between boyfriend and girlfriends or husband and wives. You also break up with your friends, which is, I think, is the worst kind of breakup, more than a boyfriend or a husband. And in very extreme cases, some people also break up with their families. Even if they're tied with blood, they just don't want to maintain that relationship with their family. So that can also be considered as a breakup. Um, we should acknowledge that breakup can happen. Because when you're starting a relationship, it's 50-50, and it's really um, half, a full, how do you say it? It's a half empty glass and a full, um, half filled glass kind of situation. Depending on how you want to see it, a relationship is always 50-50. 50% that you will reach your goal, and 50% that you don't reach your goal. And by the way, marriage is not the I don't think marriage is the ultimate goal in a relationship. The ultimate goal in the relationship is for you guys to stay together until you're old. Because that's what humans do. We have this innate need to be part of something or belongingness. And it's just really being human to want to preserve these social bonds, whether you're bonded by blood or not. So that's the ultimate goal, and it doesn't end at getting married. And even after marriage, you still have to work on your relationship. It's so weird that nobody wants to talk about breakup because a lot of us, I'm not seeing all of us, I'm not saying all of us. What am I saying? Um, a lot of us would start our relationship with breakup in mind. And that's where our um, unfounded, what am I saying? Unfounded fears of rejection and unfounded fears of being left alone comes from. So when you start a relationship, normally the reasons why you get jealous or you get a lot of these weird feelings is because of the idea that you don't want the other person to leave you. Am I right? You might not want to brand it as thinking of it as a breakup, but you're kind of wishing it upon yourself and upon the relationship. And I'm so guilty of that. Um, in so many relationships, whether it's just really dating or a serious relationship, most of the time, the complaint of the other person is that you were choking them, you were holding on to them too tight. And for you, who was just really giving out all their heart, all their emotions, or all their love to this person, it's so hard to comprehend what you did and how did the other person came to that realization that you were actually holding onto them too tight. I mean, after all, you don't want to lose them. You just want them right there. You want to keep loving them. And how come now this person is saying or telling you that you're just choking them? They can't breathe. They don't have breathing space. That's because we are so afraid to lose them that all of our actions are a little bit overacting, if you don't want to say they're overacting, because we just don't want to lose them, that we lose focus on the other person and on building the relationship itself. What happens is that we give so much, but it's not for the other person, it's not for the relationship, it's just for us and our fear of losing the other person or fear of losing the relationship. How you deal with your breakup has nothing to do with how long the relationship was. Some breakups would be harder than the others. Some may already have closure, and some may have ended in good terms. But I think, like in any relationship, the most important part in a breakup is honesty from both sides. And after the breakup, it's really honesty towards yourself. And that's something that we will be talking about in the next two episodes. Um, but today, we just want to understand why breakup is hard and what happens to your brain when you go through your breakup, and why is it some people can take it better than the others, or so we think. So why is breakup hard? Well, breakup is hard because we say that we never thought it would happen, but actually you did. Um, when you sit alone and think about those days, or um, asking yourself what the other person might be doing. Is he or she texting somebody else or whatnot? And all of these jealousy would be coming into our brain. We're almost certain that we are calling breakup upon us, that we want all these unnecessary pain to come in and start the drama and whatnot. We also keep on forgetting that our relationship is a two-way street. There are three components: you, the other person, and the relationship. And I'm not gonna get tired of saying that because a lot of us keeps on forgetting that that there is another person who has needs and wants and dreams and other things and who has their own thoughts other than us. We can't control that. We can't even control the relationship. The only thing that we can control here is ourselves, the way that we think, and the way that we feel. Sure, a lot of people would tell me, can you really control your feelings? Yeah, actually, yeah, you are the captain of your ship, by the way, if you are not yet familiar. Um, so, yes, there's a way that you can control your feelings. Maybe not the initial feelings, but if you just stop, think about it, process it, then you might just give yourself a better chance of controlling what you feel. Now, the tendency is for us to get absorbed so much in the relationship that all we see is the relationship in us. And some of us would even become very comfortable with it. And breakup is a kind of change. Not all of us are good with change. So, in breaking up, it means that you're no longer part of that person's day to day or that person's, I don't know, life or dream. In some cases, it's not necessarily like that. I mean, there are so many reasons why we break up, right? Sometimes it's necessity because someone is going away, but it doesn't mean that they don't love you anymore. It doesn't mean that they don't want to try long distance relationship or anything like that. It's just really practicality. Now, some of us, it means that we're no longer in love, but I would leave that as a question mark because I think the love part, it would totally just disintegrate if we have done something terrible to the other person, like if we've abused them emotionally and physically. I think that's the time that that love dissolves. But it could be that love had evolved to something else. It could have evolved to a deeper love of friendship, or they might be seeing you something more like a family now than a romantic partner. And then they would say that because I am in love with somebody else, it could be that they're in love with somebody else, but they still love you, just not in the way that you expect them to be in love with you anymore. And they wanted to build a new relationship with another person. And all of these may or may not contribute to how hard your breakup would be. Actually, they would all contribute to how hard this breakup could be. And it's really up to you on how you process and take all of these things. I'm not saying that breakup should be easy. Breakup is never easy, right? Another reason why breakup can really be hard for some is the social stigma. Like, for example, if you are married and you're gonna go through divorce, or even if you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, if other people starts pounding on your whole story, then breakup would be hard. Not just because other people get involved, but because you're now starting to think, what would other people think of you? What would other people say? And A lot of these prejudgments that are not yet happening, they're all going to get into your brain. And that would make breaking up harder. Like, it's just 3 months and now we're breaking up. What would my parents say? What would my friends say? Or we had been together for 15 years and now suddenly we're breaking up. What would other people say? And again, we lose focus of the actual experience in hand, which is us being in the center of that breakup, together with the relationship and together with the other person. Now, questions would come up when we experience breakup, like who's right or who's wrong, who's the victim and who's the villain. But these things, they are not important. Honestly, I think it's a fair game when you break up. Both of you are losers because you're both losing someone. Maybe the other person just can't see it now, or maybe the other person is just not being so honest with you, or maybe you're the one who's not being so honest with the other person. We can always put on a facade of being happy and whatnot so that the other person wouldn't know and they would feel bad about themselves of losing you. But in reality, when we're alone, are we not really feeling that feeling of losing that person? I think we are. And sometimes we are just too proud to admit it, but we are. So, what happens in your brain? Okay, so in season 1, episode 12, I said that love happens in the brain. So even if you say um, it's a heartbreak, most part of it still happens in the brain. But there's a but. There's an actual heart condition that can come up out of the breakup. So it depends on how hard the breakup is. But usually, that heart condition comes in extreme cases. Like it's not a breakup, but you literally lost someone to death, right? But I'm not excluding situations of a breakup. It can really lead to a heart condition, a literal heartbreak. And when people tell you to not let other people live in your brain rent free, they're quite right about saying that. Because your exes can literally, well, not just exes, but people who you thought special and then you broke up with them, whether formally or informally, they literally occupy a part of your brain rent free. I'm not a neuroscientist. No, I'm not. And I just read up on these things. And sometimes when I read up on them, I would realize, oh my God, that's really real. Why did I say that? I usually say, oh my gulay. Um, that's real. Uh, well, according to science, they do. Exes would occupy a part in your brain in the limbic center of our brains. And breakups can actually change in the brain chemistry, and so it can lead us to feelings of depression and other things that would happen in the brain. When you stop seeing someone abruptly or feeling them can act or um suddenly not feeling them. That's what I mean. It's like an addiction. When you stop, like suddenly you stop smoking. If you're a smoker, suddenly you stop drinking. There would be a time for withdrawal, and it's like craving for that. Uh, oh yeah, why am I even going far? When you're dieting, right? It's like your brain craves for the food that you cannot eat, and it's exactly like that. How you feel after, right? Usually weeks after the breakup or 2 weeks maybe after the breakup. I think the biggest thing about breakup is not really being part of that person's life. Why am I saying these things? Um, yeah, so all of us are afraid of rejection and all of us are afraid to be excluded. Our brains are hardwired to belong to something. And of course, being in a very long relationship, it feel like you belong, and then suddenly now it's you're breaking up with this person. So that means exclusion from their lives. It means that they sort of no longer need you. But that not might be true at all. And so it leads us to the question, why is it that some people can take breakup rather easily than others? Now, this is what I think, and this is based off from observations and experiences that I had. I think to some extent, we all feel the same when we are breaking up with someone or somebody had broken up with us. I don't think I have had any relationships where I was the one who broke up with the other person. Oh, yeah, maybe there was just one. No, not maybe. There was just one. Um, but for most of the relationships that I've been in, romantic relationships that is, it's always the other person who would break up with me. Like days leading to the breakup, I would know that we're gonna break up, but I still won't do anything. I am, and this is me being very honest, I am afraid to be the one to break up because I am not very decisive. So, what if I feel like I still want to be with that person, but I already said that I wanted the breakup? And then when I come back to that person, they don't want me anymore. So I just wait for the other person to say it. But it still feels so bad um, when the breakup happens. And this is what I've come to realize. And again, the key word here, the key phrase here is I think. I think we all go through the same things. Whether one who, oops, whether we're the one who broke up with someone or we were the ones who broke up with the other person, we all feel the same. It's just a matter of showing and being honest of what we feel. And I think the reason, or one of the reasons why breaking up is so hard, let's say not having closure or not being able to talk to the person, is the part where we want to put the puzzle pieces in of what led to the breakup. That might take a lot of processing. And so we're going to talk about how you process breakup in the next two episodes. But always know that there's another person on the other end. So they might have a good reason for it. It is the part where we are in the dark, where we don't really know what the other person truly feels, that makes it a little bit harder. And when they show other people that they're okay, of course that hurts us because we want them to be in the same boat. But why would we? Where is love in all of the breakup? I mean, if you're truly in love with the other person, wouldn't you be happy that they're okay after the breakup? Because that would make you worry less. Of course, I am not I'm not saying that it's not validated what you feel. Of course, it's validated what you feel. That it's kind of unfair that they're enjoying the or having the best of their lives when you're in there crying. But in a breakup, the most important person in the story is not the other person anymore. It's you. You're the most important person in the breakup. Whatever they're feeling, whatever they're going through, that's theirs. I know it's a hard truth to sell, but that's where self love would start, I guess, for a lot of us. But that's also where prioritizing yourself would have to be in. And that's where love is in all of this breakup thing. you would want to rejoice when the other person is also happy. So, if they're happy about it, you don't have to be happy about it. It's okay to feel bad about it, but don't focus on them too much. How they are dealing with it is their problem, not yours. And if we were an audience to a breakup of a friend or somebody else, it isn't the way that we eat up what they serve that we think it is the case, that the other person is dealing with it better than the other person. And I think even if the other person is already in a relationship with another person, it doesn't mean that they're not hurting. We don't know what kind of thoughts they have at 3 a.m. We don't know if they cry when they see a picture of their exes. We don't know that for sure. I know that the part where we would want to know, I think that makes it really, really hard. Yeah, is that we don't, there's a part that we don't know. But then again, there's something that you know. Number one, you know that right now after the breakup, you're not happy. That right now after the breakup, it seems like tomorrow would be another gloomy day. And that your ex is not anywhere to be found right now. We also know that you have the urge to text him or her. And we also know that you have a lot of feelings to process. That's what we know now. It's not very much important what the other person feels at this point. So I would say, so if you ask me, should I text him or her? I think we have a lot of rule books to follow, so it's just really up to you. And to me, this is just something I do personally. I let myself do things that would not really cross certain lines, or maybe when I was younger, it did cross certain lines. So if I feel like texting them, I would, and it would be a lengthy text at that. And I'm not doing that for them. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it so I can say and tell myself that I did everything and it just it's not happening right now. Or maybe never. In any way, it's really up to you to decide. I think you can follow rules, it's really up to you. But what's important is for you to understand yourself and what you're going through right now. It's not a very pleasant feeling, and it's something that you don't want to be in forever. We're so afraid of talking about breakups because it's painful. And we don't want our memories triggered with this kind of pain. Sometimes in this pain is when we find joy. When you're tired of feeling it, when you're tired of waking up tired because of crying or because of thinking about this person, is the moment that you would want to move on. I really hope this talk helps because we don't really talk about breakups. And if you're going through a breakup right now, let's talk about the stages that we go through in a breakup next episode. Also, is closure really something that you want after a relationship? That's what we're going to talk about in the next episode. And on episode 3, we can start moving on. And we're going to be talking about how we move on and how we move forward, going to the next stage of our season 3. So, stranger, I hope you learned. I hope you picked up, not learned. For sure, you already know these things. Sometimes we just need to hear some other person say it, that they have gone through it as well. So, I hope that you were able to relate with it. I hope that you were able to, that you like it too. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. And welcome to our season 3. This is episode 1. We began at the end. And I will let my outro do the rest for me. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Hey, stranger. This isn't a one way conversation, so join me and let me know what you think. Send me an email at linotegami@gmail.com. That's linotegami@gmail.com. Let's be updated with each other's lives and follow each other on Instagram. Look for at Lilith Star or LILITHSTR. Let me know if you like our discussions and if you like the show. So please do leave a rating on your favorite streaming for this show. I'd love to hear from you in any way. Stranger, thank you so much for listening. Please keep healthy and see you on the next episode. My name is Lee, and this is Decapitated Thoughts.